Rav Dhaliwal, thank you so much for joining us on.
My pleasure, Gemma. It's good to be here.
Yeah, on this Chief Customer Officer Secrets series. I'm so happy that you're doing this with us because there's very few people who have such an impressive resume as you do. And
I'm a fellow Brit like you, and we are not good at compliments, so I will just say thank you.
But for those who maybe don't know yet, could you talk a little bit about Crane Ventures and what it is that you do there?
Yeah, so I'm one of the venture partners at Crane. So Crane is a European-focused seed stage venture capital fund. We invest in essentially enterprise data products, deep technologies. And I spend half my time working on looking at potential new European companies to invest in, and the other half actually working with the portfolio on all manner of go-to-market things, so sales, success marketing, etc. So that's what I've been doing really for 2 years now, which has gone pretty quick.
The reason why we are running this video webinar series, Chief Customer Officer Secrets, is because we think there is a lack of representation of customer success at the board level. I know you and I have previously talked about this, and we both agree that the tide is changing. But why do you think there is a lack of representation still today?
So it's a good question. I'm not sure there's entirely one answer for that, but I think a big part of it actually has to do with how we actually organize as companies. So if you look at how a contemporary SaaS startup is organized, especially around its sales operations, it's virtually identical to how it was 25 years ago or 30 years ago when we sold on-premises software. Now, the difference with that is that when you sold on-premises, you were perpetually licensing the customer. You know, they bought it and they owned it forever. And we've essentially taken that production line and we've moved it into a subscription-based world where we distribute the software through cloud completely differently, and we license it completely differently. People rent the software now, but we still organize that way. And so that's just a very long way of saying we still think in pre-sales and post-sales terms. And that is an overhang from, you know, how we built software companies 20, 30 years ago. And I think it's that orthodox production line is probably one of the reasons why we don't see as much representation up at that board level, because everyone thinks the job finishes at contract signature. And really the job starts at contract signature. I was in a board meeting the other day, and the way I explained it was, look, ACV is the lifeblood of the company. It builds the company, but NRR sustains it. So without the net revenue retention, we can't be a big company because we will eventually max out who we can sell to.
Do you feel that the representation of customer success will increase if we see more customer success teams take on a number like net retention?
So I think that representation would increase, but I think it's a lot more than actually just deciding to own a number. I think it's actually I think we would need to see quite a change in mindset, which is, you know, people who have that aspiration to sit in that board meeting and be at that level would have to really accept that, you know, I run a continuous sales motion. That's what I'm doing. You know, I'm pulling maybe more of a product and value lever than an overtly commercial one, but that's the reason why I'm here. And I think a combination of those two things, I would imagine, would lead more people to having a seat at that table.
I think that's excellent advice, you know, strategic advice that you've given. Rav, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
My absolute pleasure.
You. And you know, now things are opening up again. I hope that we can meet in person.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I have actually, thanks to the National Health Service, had my final vaccination. So,
ooh, that's great.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to that. It'd be great.
Yeah, if you find yourself in Boston, let me know, and likewise if I'm back in London.
Absolutely, sounds great.